Welcome along to the first ever Football Debate Room podcast. This is me, Kevin Gimenez, talking, and I've got my co-host here, Andrew Dalhouse. How you doing, Andrew?
Hello all. I'm very good, thanks.
Yeah, this has been a long time in the making. We just had a little check, actually. Our Football Debate Room group on Facebook, which we started in 2010, so 7 years old. I think it was November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Little bit about us. I started the Football Debate Room in 2010, as I said, because watching a lot of football, commenting on Facebook, friends and family go, will you please stop going on about Messi? Will you stop going on about Barcelona, Liverpool? And I started up this group, added a few friends, added the guy to my left, Dalhouse, who I actually managed to play for my football team.
Yeah.
And we added friends and friends and friends, and it's grown now, and there's 1,200 members. And we're on it all the time, aren't we, really?
Yeah.
A lot of banter going on.
It's a 24/7 thing.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, my girlfriend was continuously on at me like, why are you in there 24/7? Why are you commentating? Why are you arguing? I was like, do you know what? That's the passion for football. I think having so many people in the group who are so passionate is just a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
It's allowed the group to continuously grow. And that's why we're how many members?
Yeah, 1,200 or something, is it?
Yeah, 1,200 members.
Yeah, no, it's going good. And we've Andrew set up a website, which is footballdebateroom.com. We're on Twitter at FootyDebateRoom. And myself, my Twitter is at KevinGXX, and Andrew is at Andrew Dalhouse. So we thought we'd get this going. We often wind each other up a lot. He's a Man United fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. So that's instant rivalry.
Yeah.
Andrew, tell us a little about yourself, because I know people in the group will know, but people that are listening to this for the first time, obviously you play a lot of football. You seem to fancy yourself as a bit of a pro. Tell us about your football.
I think mine goes back to my childhood. I think my footballing growth was a bit different to other people. I think I had a really intense father who he wanted me to learn every part of the game. So while other people were just watching it and enjoying it, I was literally being told that person stands there because of this person goes here because of that. And to his credit, he done very well. Both me and my brother into Crystal Palace.
Who did he support,
QPR.
by the way?
He was a QPR fan.
Oh, so you support...
I support Man United and QPR.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, let's get that straight. Yeah. So he's a diehard QPR fan. You'll see him mention QPR like 24/7 and debate one post, I think, in about 7 years. But go on.
I think the QPR is a love-hate, because I played for QPR for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And at a time where I was getting so many injuries, at that time I didn't see anything else. I thought, that's it, I'm going to be a pro. But obviously injuries, etc., put me in a position where I had to come out of the pro game, go into the non-league game, and it was very different, very different. And I think that is the reason why I stopped going to watch QPR as much, because obviously there's regrets, there's pain with it. So, but I was always a Manchester United fan. Always. Okay. On my estate, it was split between Man United and Arsenal, and it was literally 50.
I think we have this debate on there, and I said to you, let's see a picture of you in your youngest ever Man United kit. I still haven't seen.
Don't worry, you are going
about 16 or something.
You are going to see. No, younger than that.
Whereas I'm in my Barcelona kit from like 1 year old.
My parents tried to put me in an Arsenal kit at the age of, I think it was 1, and by the time I knew, I think I was about 4 or 5, that the next thing I can remember, I was in a Manchester United kit and a QPR kit, and that's where it came from. So I think I was telling my parents from young, no, I want that team. So
fair enough. So you've played for a lot of clubs around, including myself. I used to run a Sunday league side, and you came along with me for one season, done really well. Injuries hampered you then as well, so you're obviously always full of injuries. You're at Ashford FC now, is it?
Yeah, I'm currently playing for Ashford semi-professional, which is in the Ryman South. I'm actually enjoying that very much so. And I'm obviously continuously playing for Vista FC on Sunday, which is the same league as the team you managed, which is the Orpington and Bromley League. Yeah. And because I've played for them so long, which I believe is from the age of 18, I've stepped into the management game now. And it's given me a different perspective of the game as a whole. Now, before I used to be quite selfish in my views, but now I think I've just got a wider understanding of the game.
Yeah, you've got older and you've grown up.
That's it. I've grown up. I was very, very spoiled and selfish before, but now I appreciate everything and I know what everybody went through.
So on our website as well and on our Twitter, Andrew's done lots of interviews with semi-pro players all around the game. So if you're in the semi-pro game and you want to see that, definitely check out footballdebateroom.com and our Twitter. Andrew's done a lot of interviews with some top players, and Andrew's had more clubs than Tiger Woods, I think. Is it chasing that money or just chasing the game?
No, I think that's the very hard, the thing that I found very hard. I think that once you move for a few clubs, I think people associate you. There's a stigma towards you. But for me, I was never able to play the game just for money. Like never. I still currently will go and play in Brixton with a lot of, there's people who don't really play football but are good players. There's semi-pro footballers, there's pro footballers, play on a daily basis. I'll still go and play at goals. I'll still go running. It's just the enjoyment for the game. I literally enjoy playing the game. And I think for me, it gives me that that stability of doing something regularly, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Whereas before, you can easily fall into the troubles of other outside influences. So for me, it's just having that stability that I really like, and it keeps my mind focused. So
I will big you up a little bit. You got represented for the Orpington and Bromley League select team this year and was made captain of that, and you won that as well, didn't you? Beat the Croydon League, wasn't it?
Yes, I think for that, I think I've just, over the years, when you're playing, you get to a point where people say things about like consistency, discipline, etc. And for myself, I think a few years ago, I really took that on, and I've just tried to make sure that I can play as long as possible and try and be actually as healthy as possible. So for Vista, I've done really well. We've won loads of cups. We've won the league recently. And then obviously that's been noticed by the Orpington and Bromley League. And I've also been quite vocal in other things, because as I said, once you step into the management game, you see other things. And I felt that sometimes the league needed to be represented better, so I'd speak up, etc.
Basically saying, play me.
To be honest, I never knew. I never knew it was coming. I think Damani, who's the manager that I work with, he knew before me, but he didn't tell me, and I kind of found out, I think, on the day. And as I said, I know some people look at Sunday League as not a high level, but it's still a massive commitment.
That Orpington and Bromley League, the top division, is there's lots of semi-pro players in there, and it's a tough league.
Tough league, and not only that, once you go into the London Cup, essentially, once you get past the first round, or even in the first round, you're playing players that are semi-professional, and when you get to the final rounds, those teams are essentially the same level as semi-pro teams. They're really good. So for me, as I said, I just like the competition. I know you only play football for a small period. I've obviously had injuries, so I appreciate it even more. And I just want to play as long as possible. So
keep going, mate. Keep going. I'll still give you grief every time I find out you're on the bench and you don't play. I'll be searching for bench house, as I used to call it.
I love it. Honestly, it spurs me on even more. I love it. I love it.
And then you post that free kick you put top bins on. Damn it. Anyway, that's the boring stuff. We won't be doing that every week. That's just so you know about Dalhouse and myself. I did a bit of I played decent football when I was younger. Everyone knows in the group that I stopped because of my shin splint. And I get grief because of that, but seriously, I was at Fisher 3 training nights a week, and it done me in. So I went Sunday football and just relaxed, and then jogged it on
and done really well with that team. That team had a big influence on the league at the time. And they, to be honest, you probably brought one of the league's best players in Lee Hines to like my vision at least, and then that team was probably, I think did you come second?
We came second. We won the cup. We lost the main cup. We won the other cup. I mean, I can't remember exactly. That was a long time ago. But we did have a good time. And that you mentioned about Lee Hines. Remember, we had a striker called Michael Williams. He said to me, Kev, my cousin, that he's up for playing. He used to be pro. He played for Aberdeen. And I'm thinking, now is he pro like Andrew Dalhouse? He used to be good when he was younger. But no, he was a proper pro. He was at Aberdeen, Wimbledon, played in the Scottish Scottish Premier League.
Yeah.
And when he turned up on a Sunday morning, our rubbish pitch,
Yeah.
our goal nets with all holes in everything. I'm thinking, he don't look all that, but let's see when he gets on the pitch. Oh my God, the control! He was ridiculous, wasn't he?
Absolutely,
and I was
amazing
just like,
player.
Thank you very much. I'll take this guy all day long, and I can't believe he stayed. But he enjoyed it. It was good banter.
Yeah.
In the group as well, we've got lots of regular members who we will be mentioning throughout the shows and looking at their comments. And we've got a lot of players in there who played the game at a good level. People that have been added through friends and friends. Like, you've got like
Tom Carter played for England, I believe, under 15, 16, 17.
Did he really?
Yeah, really great player.
No, don't give him too much praise. He winds me up that way.
And Maya Jade, who I wasn't aware of how good he actually was, but I've recently got to play against him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a lot older, but you can tell by looking at them at that age what they would have been. Was great.
I had a season with managing Maya, or Aaron as his real name is. I don't know why he's got this little pseudo personality on Facebook. He's obviously got skeletons in that closet.
Skeletons.
He's obviously trying to keep some ladies away, but he's obviously a ladies' man, as we've seen. But I had a season with him playing for me, and mate, he was a whippet. Quality player, really good player, so I enjoyed having him. There's some good football knowledge in there. There's a lot of banter. There's some people who don't know much about football and they pipe up a lot, mentioning no names whatsoever. There's a lot of people on there that are always interested, and every voice is welcome. So if you're listening to this and you want to get involved, we're on Facebook as Football Debate Room. You can follow the link on footballdebateroom.com. Join our Facebook group, because that's where it mainly happens on there, and get involved in the chat. I think we're going to do a couple of topics to start with, and the first topic we're going to discuss is Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho. Now,
been waiting for this.
Now, you might work out as you listen to this, and me and Dalhouse, we often banter each other, we often go with each other opposite, but I know Andrew's got loads of respect for Pep Guardiola. I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I hate Mourinho. I absolutely hate him. I hate him as a man. I hate him, his persona, everything about him. I hate him. And I'll let you talk about Mourinho after, and you can put the case forward for him. I'm going to put the case forward about Pep Guardiola, who, as a Barcelona fan, the surname Gimenez obviously comes from Spain. My dad's a Barcelona fan, so always supported them throughout my life. And he took over at a time when Rijkaard was at the end of his period. The team was struggling badly, and Mourinho actually wanted that job desperately. He was desperate for it. He went for the interview. I think some of the board members wanted to go Mourinho. Cruyff was against it. The president at the time was against it, and they went for Guardiola, who was in the B team, I think. And they was down in division. I think it was 2 divisions down from the top. I might be wrong here. Got promotion 2 years in a row. I think now, guys, we're not experts here. We might get things wrong. So if there's something we get wrong, but we're getting the gist of it. He took them up, and they gave him the job, which was a bit of a risk. And if you watched in the first season, the first game, I think they lost away. And I think it was Numancia, someone like that. Then they drew at home, and there were people that were slating him off. But other people, like Cruyff, for example, saw the beauty in the football they were playing. And he got it back to the days of proper football from the back, trying to get, and he didn't mind if there was mistakes, because he was improving players. And we're seeing that with players like John Stones and things like that. 100%. And I would say that team, once it got going, was the best football I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the 5-0 against Madrid was just ridiculous. I mean, it was like watching men v boys, and it was unbelievable to watch. And I think throughout his career, not just at Barcelona, he's gone to Bayern Munich, he's gone obviously now at City. For me, he's improved every team he's gone on. I know it's hard to say because Bayern Munich won the treble before, but every player that you hear from Bayern Munich says how tactically far advanced he was from anyone else.
Each season's different anyway, so you can't always take that as anything. If you win the treble one season, it's very, very hard to win the treble next season, so again. I don't take that as anything.
But players like Lahm, that said he improved him massively, and he taught him things about the game he never knew, and that's coming to the end of his career and what a player he was. You look at Sterling now, and even like Otamendi. I'm looking at Otamendi. He's making passes out from the defence that I've never seen him play, like through the lines. The other thing about him as well is not just the way they played, the passion and the way he gets his players working for him is just ridiculous. And they all want to, die for him, and they press so hard. I mean, I think the City performance that I saw this season against Chelsea, although it was only 1-0, I think.
Yeah.
It was a masterclass of football.
It's about the overall game anyway. So that the score can't always reflect. You may play a game where a team is very tactically advanced. So 1-0 can be everything. And I definitely agree with you. On Pep, I'm a massive fan of him and his style and his philosophy. I definitely am.
Yeah.
But...
Well, we'll get on to Mourinho in a second. Wait.
I'm going to wait.
There's a couple more things that I want to say about Pep. Like, when he first came to Barcelona, he brought in a player called Sergio Busquets and Pedro, Now,
number one.
I'm not joking. Like, me and my brothers and my dad were watching Barcelona for the first few games, and we were going, who is this guy in midfield who is rubbish?
Yeah.
He's dwelling on the ball.
Yeah.
He's trying things that he shouldn't be trying at his age.
Yeah.
He's getting intercepted all the time.
Yeah.
He didn't look good enough for Barca Busquets. I was like, this ain't right. Why is he bringing this guy from the B team who's played lower league football?
Yeah.
And then as the time gone on and on and on, and he's let him carry on trying and making them mistakes, he's become now like that defensive midfielder that everyone raves on and says how good he is. And he looked boring. He looked like steady, just little. But you watch the game and you watch him, and he absolutely is like. For me, he's the best defensive midfielder ever.
As a fan, how long did it take for him, from him being introduced to him to really mould into that team? Because you probably watched more than me. Oh yeah, just for Busquets.
Just for Busquets, for him, it probably took a good few months before you actually thought, do you know what, he's all right. He starts doing things, and you're like, he's a decent player. Right?
Yeah.
But it was hard. And Pedro as well. You're thinking, this guy's just running around quick. He don't look all that. But he came out and said he's the second best finisher at the club behind Messi. And you're like, mate, he's good. And we've obviously seen how, they've both gone on to win European Cups, World Cup with Spain. So,
that front three was arguably the best front three for
MVP.
Me. I really feel that at that time they were really dangerous. So
I mean, he and also as well now everyone's waxing lyrical about Pep. He's got the longest running streak in Spain, in Germany, now in England as well. And I just think the guy is pure class. And being a Liverpool fan as well, obviously the league's over for us. I want him to win this league with record points and smash it up. That's what I think about. I know you don't, because you're Man United. So you talk about Mourinho. Let us know what you think.
I'll tell you. So my admiration for Mourinho is very different. I think for me, like everybody else, kind of came to the knowledge of Mourinho when Porto knocked Manchester United out.
Mate, I loved him then. When he ran down that wing, I was like, who's this guy?
That's what I mean. I felt that at the time he was so charismatic and he just brought something new to management. Everybody was a bit boring those days. And then now you get the Klopps, the Contes. Everyone's charismatic because people are allowed to manage with freedom and expression. And then also when he used to do his interviews, his post-match interviews, he was just so expressive and honest. That is something I appreciated. Now, I also understand why people do dislike him, but I don't think they understand Mourinho. I think people say, okay, tactically he plays defensively, etc. I don't agree. I just think that he sets up to create a team that can win competitions. And the style might not be exciting to everyone who's watching, but I'm imagining if you're in that team and you're working hard with those people, you probably go out believing you can beat anyone. And that's one of the things I admire about Mourinho.
Zlatan said that he wanted to kill for him, didn't he?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's because if you look at them, they're similar characters. The problem is when with someone like Mourinho, he wants to be number one. Now, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with those people that are just all about themselves and they're so focused on their goal. Because at the end of the day, you have one body. You can't think for everybody else. You can only do what's right for you. And that's why I appreciate him. He's gone on to win 2 Champions Leagues. Mourinho's got something like 23 trophies. And between 2003 and 2012, he didn't go a single year without winning a trophy. That's admiration. And then in his worst times, okay, Chelsea, I can't remember where they actually end up finishing. I think it was 10th or something. But last year with Manchester United, he comes and he still manages to win trophies, even when it's at a time where decisions he had to make were really hard. He had to play a style of football without having all the buys he needed. And for me, personally, that's what I think makes a great manager.
Yeah.
I think if you get given a club that's sixth from bottom and you reform them and then you can get them into the top 10, that's great management for me.
Yeah.
So although I do love what Pep's done and I appreciate everything that Pep's done, I just have this admiration for Mourinho. And also Inter Milan was my favourite Italian team. I used to love them back in the day. Adriano, Recoba, these type of players. Exactly. I loved them. So just to see them get back to some type of height, what he done for them with all of those players, Zanetti, Maicon, Milito, Snyder, Pandev, it was just absolute, like, I loved it. And him to go on to win the treble, like that was the, once that happened with Inter, I think that was it. Like, I was in love with him forever. And then when I was seeing what he was doing at Chelsea, to be honest, it's so weird because when I first saw De Bruyne and he played him, I was like, who is this guy? This guy's amazing. Now, I know that didn't quite work out, but I just feel that if Mourinho doesn't have, if the player doesn't have the quality that he likes, and that's not just on the ball, that's off the ball, that's the work, hard work, etc., he doesn't take to them too well. And I think that's one of his, maybe his negatives. That is one of the negatives. I do agree with him. But then he put time into other players like Balotelli, who caused him problems. So it swings and roundabouts for me. But as on a whole, I'm just a massive fan of Mourinho. I'm a massive fan of Pep. I appreciate both of them for what they do. But I think if I was playing football, I just have to go with Mourinho.
Yeah.
I just feel that the way that I am as a player, I feel that I like to be on the pitch with 10 people who are working equally hard as me, and when it goes wrong, etc., we find resolutions, and I do that.
But
yeah, you're going to say the fluidity, the
no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's fine with Mourinho.
Yeah.
And he gets, look, I wrote down, I've got some pros for Mourinho, and like you said, he's a winner. You can't knock it. Wherever he's gone, he's won.
Yeah.
Even at Man United last season.
Yeah.
And they, I always bang on about his luck. He's one lucky man. Honestly, I've got some instances of his luck, but we'll get to that. But you can't knock it. He wins stuff all the time. Got him into the Champions League, finishing 6th. I mean, that doesn't happen normally, but he's done it. He's won the Europa League and got them in there. But we talk about he goes in there and he wins things. He never lasts more. He's been, how many times have he been sacked? 2 or 3? I think. Two times he's been sacked. He's left with players not wanting to play with him in a relegation scap. Like, how can you have Hazard and have him against you and then wanting you out? And the players, he had it at Madrid. He gets them, I think he gets them so much out of them that first couple of seasons. He drives them a bit, I don't know, I think he drives them too much. And in the end, because he's so passionate to win, especially at Barcelona, when he was at Madrid, he creates that rivalry. He created that rivalry between Barcelona and Madrid players in the national team, where it went overboard. And they actually had to have a meeting. Like Casillas called him up and said, "Look, we've got to stop this because we're in the same team. We're going for World Cups." And that was from Mourinho stoking them and getting them going. And you just have to listen to him in his press conferences. He's always trying, like even the City game that went past. He's talking about Pep with his Catalonia support. He's talking about Man City players diving all the time. He's always trying that. And that's the way he is. And you can't, that's his style and it works for him. My point is, doesn't last long enough and he never leaves. Like Inter Milan, he left on his own terms. Chelsea, sacked. Sacked. I just think I can't see him lasting at Man United and then walking out the door.
My problem with the thing at Real Madrid is I felt that, his job is to focus on the team, Real Madrid. And I'm not sure if you've seen the recent interview where you've got Lampard, Ferdinand and Gerrard talking about what they've done individually, and then obviously when they go to England and they're supposed to work as a team.
Yeah.
Now the problem is, it's Mourinho's from Portugal. That's for one.
Yeah.
It's not his job to worry about the national team.
No, of course.
And also, I think that Casillas, I felt that he was wrong in that instance. When you play, I can be your best friend. I literally can be your best friend. When we step on that pitch and we're playing against each other, my job is to win.
Yeah.
Because you're not that people. This is where I said about the selfishness, something I didn't realize till later in the career and going to management. Like, you winning affects a lot of people. You have fans, you have like people that work in the club that are employed by the club. You have players' careers, etc. And Mourinho's job is to get the best out of that team and make them win. And he did stoke them up a lot. Now the problem is that people like Casillas, etc., didn't want to have that rivalry, etc. But the problem is that Barcelona were better at that time. So that was the problem for me. You're going and losing 5-0, etc., and then you're happy to go and play in the national team with them. That's what I said about Mourinho being number one. He doesn't want that. He wants to be number one. And I, in that position, felt that he was doing the right thing. And
I think with him, though, like, he's obviously tactically brilliant. Yeah? Everyone talks about parking the bus and then it's not that attractive to watch. But, you know, Real Madrid, they scored the record goals towards the end of his career, so he can get attacking football. The team where he had Robin, Duff, Drogba, that team, crazy. That was amazing to watch. So he can do that. But I think tactically he picks his battles for what game he's playing against or what team he's playing against. But I don't think he needs to go over the top like he does. I think he could do it with a bit more class. I think he could get players wanting to play for him. Like when you're Chelsea and you're winning the league and you're winning it by record points, why are you going on like he does? Like the whole thing with who's the guy who need check in the head, like is it Hunt, was it, I think?
Okay, yeah.
He's talking about ambulances not coming on time and making stuff up like that. Talking about players going to dressing rooms to speak to referees in the Champions League. That stuff for me crosses the line, and that's where I got my issues with him, poking up Tito Vinilola. I mean, that's just cowardly.
I honestly feel with him, it is tactical warfare. He wants every single advantage that he can gain in order for his team to benefit. We can take, for example, the physio. You know, when that physio, and obviously there's been a case. I don't even know her name.
Ava Canario, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. They call her nice ass.
Like with that, I think he was so in the zone, and I remember watching it back, and I said he's so in the zone. He, as a person individually, is thinking 3 steps ahead. So, for example, when that happened, he's thinking, okay, if she doesn't come on, then we get a bit more time or something like that. And that's where his mind is at. So he reacts as it's happening. And that's the problem. Not everybody thinks 2-3 steps ahead. And as I said, that's what I think his biggest issue is at the moment, is that he needs to adapt, just like Ferguson done. Ferguson used to shout a lot back in the days, and then as years and time went along, he obviously said he had to calm down. He had to understand different players. He said things like players like Nani, there's no point shouting at them. You won't get the same reaction that you'll get from Roy Keane, Mark Hughes, etc. So I do get it. I do get it, but I also feel that as the game goes along, I think when you're sitting here and we're on a computer screen and we're watching videos, we've got time to analyze. It's just like refereeing. We've got time to analyze. I think Mourinho, he's in the middle of everything and he's making mistakes, but he's in the public eye. And I think that's the problem. I think that's the biggest problem with him.
I just think he's a bit of an arsehole, to be honest. I mean, I respect what he's done for sure, but I mean, there's been some luck over the years. You know, we talk about... listen to this.
If you mention the volcano...
I'm going to mention it, but just listen to this, right? When he was at Inter Milan, right, and people can watch this back, there's videos on YouTube where they say about robbery of this game. The one, again, in the sense... Right, first of all, right, Porto. Right, let's go over the first Champions League he wins. Porto played against Man United. Now, I wanted Porto to win badly. If I knew what an arrogant bloke this guy would be and how much I'd hate him in the future, I think I would have cheered for United, and I hate United as well. But they scored, Scholes scored a goal that was onside, got given offside, right, fair enough. They needed a goal to win on away goals, I think it was, wasn't it?
It was.
Free kick in the last minute, Tim Howard patched this easy free kick. All he needs to do is tap it around the post, taps it into the path of the Porto player. They score, they go through and win. They get to face Monaco in the final. I mean, come on. When are Monaco going to be in the Champions League final against anyone? So
but they had a good team.
They did have a good team. Yeah, they had a good team. And that's the thing. People say, "Oh, he won it with Porto." Who would do that? They were a good team. There were some proper players in there.
Yeah, there was.
But to win it with Porto is a big deal. And
there are obviously people like Deco and what was the Manchester United player Anderson. I'm sure all those players came from them there. So
no, they had a good side. They had a good side. But and then we go to the Inter Milan v Barcelona. Now, this guy, right? Please, guys, go on YouTube and watch the highlights of the San Siro game, right, on its own. And Milito scores a goal that's offside, right? So that's one. Dani Alves gets chopped down in the box, right? And it is the most blatant penalty you're ever going to see in your life. The Portuguese referee doesn't give it, right? So we go there 3-1. It was an offside goal, blatant penalty. Then we need to win 2-0 to go through. We're 1-0 up. Obviously, he's parking the bus and all that, as he does. And Yaya Toure, ball comes on the edge of the box, bounces up, hit his chest, puts it top corner, goal, that's it, we're through. Referee rules it out for offside, doesn't even touch him. For handball, sorry. Doesn't even touch him there. And they go on and win and they go through on that one. Now, obviously, they done well in the final. Who did they play in the final? I can't remember now. Is it Bayern Munich? Bayern Munich at the Bernabeu. So, But leading up to the game in the San Siro. So this is when that Icelandic volcano. No, seriously, because this is serious. I know you're laughing. Right, the Icelandic volcano went up, right, and all the planes were grounded. There were no flights going and everything. So the game was going to be called off. UEFA at the last minute says, Barcelona, you've got to get there. Right. So they have to. There's videos of them running to catch this train, get a train, get a coach, make it all the way. That preparation, right? That's you got to say, being a footballer yourself.
I agree.
That's massive luck, right? I know. I'm not saying he created the volcano. That's special power.
People believe that you actually think that he put a bomb in a
he started it back up. But no, I mean, look, that's all like it's me being bitter, I know, and I just can't stand the fact that he's won 2 Champions Leagues. But he won them. Look, you love him, I hate him, I respect him. So, what more can we say? Right, we put the topics that we've been discussing, or the first topic anyway, in our Facebook group and asked people to make their comments. We've had a couple on there. Bukhtar Hussain. I don't enjoy watching the current Barcelona or Bayern like I used to when Pep was in charge of them. Absolutely love his pure football philosophy. Had the pleasure of watching his Bayern against Arsenal a couple of years ago. His Barcelona side is the greatest club side ever. Just imagine if he had Neymar and Suarez playing for him. I said Sterling won't get a sniff this season, but look at him now. He's playing the best football of his career. All down to Pep. Mourinho's achievement speaks for itself, but hate that man's arrogance. I remember watching Chelsea versus Liverpool in the Carling Cup semi-final 4 years ago, where Mourinho actually let his team attack Liverpool, and he actually let them attack Liverpool in the second half. Although we lost, it was a brilliant game to watch. Tomo Cato says Jose is the second best manager ever. Second best manager ever. Pep a close third. Mourinho revolutionised management. His ability to come into any team in the league and be successful. Pep has been doing something similar last 5-ish years with total football. If he wins the treble with City, he'll probably go above Jose for me. But can we all just appreciate how good they both are? Both have had good and bad traits, but both need to be recognised as two of the greatest ever. I think they are both recognised, definitely, for me. I don't know what's Pep's bad traits. Do you know what he's talking about there? Is there anything you can
I think what I heard is man management, and this is mainly from Ibrahimovic. I think when Pep was at Barcelona, he kind of, because of the football philosophy, it was, I think Ibra described it as a school,
and all
a
the
school.
kids,
So all the kids, yes sir, exactly. So I think when he's gone on to other places, or when he's managing people that aren't necessarily able to deal with that, I think that's one of his issues.
So to me, that's it was the only one I've ever heard come out.
I can't remember specifically, but obviously there must be Yaya Toure. Obviously, must have some grievance with him. There are going to be players, but
his agent.
Exactly, his agent. But I think with Pep's more discreet with it, and I think that comes from his Barcelona background. Everything I've realised, it seems to be behind closed doors.
So basically,
until it gets to the board,
basically it's just Zlatan's got a problem because he didn't get in his team and he sold him straight away. I've got to say, on one of I did do a cons against Guardiola. It was only a very small page actually, but two of the worst signings he's ever made. Gimenez at Barcelona, centre back. I might get corrected and they might say he didn't sign him, but I'm pretty sure it was him. But I hope it was anyway. But he was rubbish. If it wasn't, I apologise, but I'm pretty sure it was. But the Zlatan for Eto'o and money, that was madness for me. I mean, that's the thing with Pep. He obviously sees someone who's not pulling his weight, I suppose, or getting to the end of his career, and he tries to move him on. And I suppose Zlatan was probably like a bit of a plan B, really, because he didn't really have that. That's one thing as well, a bit of a negative. If it's not going well, does he have a plan B? He just tries to make plan A work better, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, there's some cons, I suppose, from Pep, but I mean, I just love the man. I think he's great. I think he's superb.
What do you think about his answers in the media? Because I find him to be very dismissive.
Yeah, I think he was very annoyed the first season. They weren't getting a lot of decisions. And his anger, I think he sort of did come across a bit offish in the interviews. He seems to be better this season. That's probably because they're winning every week. But yeah, I mean, Mourinho's the king of being arsey in interviews, isn't he? I mean,
he was at one point. Mourinho was the best in interviews, and as I said, now he's not winning as much or in the same style. Because at one point he was just the special one. I think that's where his issues have come in now. Now, once you start getting doubted, I think that's when the problems come. But
we had another comment from Nathan Headley. What a goalkeeper that boy was! I played Sunday football with him. He made one of the best saves I've ever seen. Top goalkeeper, Nathan. Anyway, Nathan says, "Why are British managers?" Sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Pep is a step above everyone else at the moment, and he has shown his managerial class to actually develop his current crop of players. Jose, for me, is the second best manager in the world. I mean, it's hard to argue against that.
That's what I believe. The top three, without a doubt, in any way, shape, or form, is Ferguson, Pep, and Mourinho
of our era that you can think of.
And whichever order you choose to put them is fine with me. I think whatever. Even if somebody, I don't know if many would, but if people put, say, Pep over Ferguson, etc., I think each manager has a case. Each manager has been really, really well. I think they've all won the Champions League twice, isn't it? So what more can you say? I think once you win the Champions League more than once, you deserve that elite record.
I'll go along with that. Last comment on that, I'm going to say this is a Tommy Roberts, Man United fan. Used to hate Mourinho. Now he's Man United manager.
Oh, he hated Mourinho before.
Oh yeah, mate, he hated his arrogance. I'm sure he did. He might correct us, but I'm sure we've had many chats about him. But to be fair, he's starting to question Mourinho's tactics now. But he puts here about Pep. I keep seeing things regarding Pep and a history of performance-enhancing drugs, both by himself and then his teams. I don't know about the team thing. He got caught taking nandrolone. Is it nandrolone? A few times. His doctor has been linked to them. Barca were fined for not disclosing his whereabouts of the players for drug tests a few years ago. Spanish government also destroying blood samples before testers could test them. There's a lot of smoke on this subject. I guess we'll never know, but there are a lot of rumours on this. Well, Pep did actually get done for that and he got cleared.
Yeah.
I think a lot of players at the time got done for it in Italy, but it was all to do with dietary supplements, as they say. But I don't know enough to go into that, Tommy, but stop being a bit of mank, mate. Stop being a bit of mank.
I tend to stay away from topics like that, and because, as you said, it's like the dark world. There's obviously things happening in football that we don't know about. So I try to go with what I see on the front. If things come up that obviously affect a manager's ability to do well or to be bad, etc., then okay, I go to it. But I try to stay away from that because little do we know, every manager could be doing the same thing and just one gets caught. So I stay away from those ones.
Listening to the Football Debate Room podcast with myself, Kevin Gimenez, and Andrew Dalhouse. We're going to be doing our second topic now, and that is VAR, video assisted referees. Now, so VAR is coming in to the World Cup in Russia.
Yes, it is,
and they have done some tests, and it's worked in some aspects, and other aspects there's been a lot of people criticising it. Now, me for one, I just want it in the game big time. I cannot stand decisions going against teams when it's injustice, basically. And video referee can take off so much pressure out of the man in the middle for me. You get the crowd giving the referee a lot of grief. You get players all huddling around him. If there's a big decision to be made and it's something that can be looked at on a replay, that takes off the pressure on the man. He can go, right, they've watched it. It's a penalty, it's handball, it's offside, it's that. So I think it's going to be good for the game. I understand what people are saying, that obviously it can take a bit of time to get the decision right. But I think it might actually add a bit of drama to the game. Imagine like your team letting a goal and you think, oh, that was a touch and go there. They're celebrating, they're cheering. You're going, please be offside, please be offside. You don't have to watch it on the replay and go, bloody hell, that was offside, that's a joke. You can actually watch it and then get overturned. And it's going to add a new element, I think, to the game. I think it's going to stop a lot of cheating, a lot of diving, because obviously they know that you're going to get looked back. And, I think retrospective action is coming in a bit more now, but I think that needs to be pushed through. I just want it to be in there. And I know people say it breaks up the play, but injuries break up the play. You can have injuries for 6-7 minutes and, not every decision is going to be looked at, but I think for goals, for penalties, things like that, hitting people off the ball, things like that, that's going to be good for the game. I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
I'm 50-50. I totally agree. In certain instances, it is going to clean up the game. But I'm just worried about the fluidity of the game and taking the rawness and the passion out of the game. Now, so I don't, for example, I don't obviously condone cheating, etc. But I think now when people are playing, when you play it with that freedom of mind, you do things off the cuff. And I worry that if people are worried and always worried about getting this booking or this action, etc., it's just going to take something away from the game. That's what I feel. I can imagine if I was playing a game, sometimes you play them high tempo games, the pace is there, and then the decisions given, and then they got to go to the referee. It's just going to take the pace out of the game or the electricity out of the game, and that's my biggest worry. So I'm 50-50 on it. I know why people want it, but then I understand from a playing perspective why people wouldn't want it.
It's definitely got to get quicker. I mean, I can't remember, there was a friendly where there was a goal and they celebrated for ages. And then it took about I think it took like 2-3 minutes to actually watch the replay and get the decision overall.
Yeah.
It's got to be quicker. And you see when you're watching it on the Sky how quick you see replays. It doesn't need to take that long.
Yeah.
One thing for me that I hate about the VAR, I don't get all this business of the referee going to the side to watch a screen.
Yes.
That for me puts the pressure back on him.
Because
you're going, you're looking at that. You know, why have you given it? If he just goes, there's someone in a room watching it. He's seeing it. It's clear cut. You can't give the ref grief. You can't influence him, can you?
Exactly.
So I do see the pros and cons, but for me, I just can't wait for it to come in. I can't stand it when, you know, offside goals actually decide games, and you know, a team batters someone for 85 minutes and then there's an offside goal that would just get them a draw or nick a win. That it kills it for me. But you know, I don't know, anything else you think about the actual topic? I mean, do you actually, if you had to choose, you're going to say yes, I want it, or I don't want it now, or what's your...
I'm not a massive rugby fan, but on odd occasions where I've watched rugby and I've seen what a video referee, the effect it has, I would say that it will be a benefit to the game overall. I think it's just the adjustment. I think it's the fact of change that's the hardest thing for people.
Look at goal line technology. Everyone's going, I don't want that to go in the game. The argument that does made, and what we're going to discuss in the pub. If it all gets ruined and it's clear cut, what a load of crap that is. You discuss a game of football, don't you?
Of course,
but Lampard in the World Cup against Germany, you know, just before half time, about a foot over the line. Barcelona, like this year, I think they've had 2 or 3 goals over. They had last season against Betis over the line. This season they've had 2, and they haven't even got goal line technology in Spain. I mean, it's organised so badly. But the goal line technology for me has been brilliant. It's
changed it so much. I definitely agree with that. Goal line technology has changed a lot. You, as a Man United fan, I know twice we've benefited from Tottenham scoring goals.
So
I definitely agree.
Was that Roy Carroll goal?
Roy Carroll.
His head was literally in the net as he pulled it out.
That was hilarious. I remember at the time thinking, wow. So in those instances, I totally get it. If I was on the opposite side of that, I think I would just lose my head. So it's such a tough one, but I know in the long term, it will benefit. I think it's just change. I think that's the thing. Once that's been implemented and you have 2-3 seasons of it, it just becomes normal, and then people adjust to it. So
it's going to be teething problems to start with, and it's not going to be perfect. It's going to wind people up. But as long as the correct decisions are being made, you know, I'm all for it, as you can tell. We got a couple of comments in the debate room about that on Facebook. My brother Paul says, I want it, but only if it's completely accurate and it stops mistakes. I don't want it to take too long and disrupt the game, i.e. a counter-attack is ruined by a tennis-style challenge. As long as the right decision is made, it's going to be good. Keith David Shaw says, I want it. Too many incorrect decisions in games. Something needs to be done. Just taking my team, Crystal Palace, would have had different outcomes to Everton in the Everton game, as no pen given for the Nias dive. The retrospective action didn't help Palace at all, so it was pointless. Additionally, we could have won the FA Cup final as what he calls Clattenburg, Clatten CUNT, would not have been able to influence the game like he did. That would have meant European football, etc., which could equal measures make or break us. It would have been nice to find out. Also, levels the playing field. Smaller clubs will get decisions which, unless you support a smaller club, you don't see happening. VAR may spell the end of Mourinho's luck in games. I like that one at the end. Did you hear that bit of Mourinho luck?
That is just the bitter. I find it funny that people mention Mourinho luck so much, because there's so many other managers experience this. It's just used. People like to hate on Mourinho. And what people don't realise is people like him and Ronaldo, they relish in that. The more you're talking about them, the better. So
we ever like Ronaldo with his offside goals in the Champions League.
As I said,
nice,
but I just feel for Ronaldo, that's not his job. It's not his issue. Your job is to score the goals. Let someone else deal with that. So that's my thing. I think when people like Ronaldo and these type of people get stick for these things, that that then bothers me, because I'm like, well, that's not their job. Individually, everyone has a job to do.
Yeah.
And the same as what you're saying for a ref, I definitely agree that the video referee should be a panel, maybe 3 people in a room, watching it quickly, make a decision, send it down. The referee says this, that, because the last thing you want is the same, that same issue. So people start harassing the ref, people do this. Yeah, so I agree with that. Definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Well, look, guys, if you want to comment on that, please, again, in the Facebook room, you'll find it, Football Debate Room. If you go to the website, footballdebateroom.com, and our Twitter is Footy Debate Room, at Footy Debate Room. I'm just having a little look at some comments that the players, the call these players, guys have been making in the Facebook room this week. Who's here? Tommy Roberts says Barcelona reported to FIFA by Atletico Madrid for illegal approach to Griezmann. I mean,
interesting.
I can't tell you how annoyed I am with Barcelona's board, the way they run the club.
Yeah.
They're just an embarrassment, really. And Spanish football in general, we often have a lot of debates about La Liga.
Yeah.
I'm for La Liga. The Premier League, which I love, but I think La Liga's on another level.
Yeah.
The actual way La Liga is run by the FA in Spain is pathetic. It is absolutely a joke. The Barcelona board are just, honestly, they are useless. And they're going to probably get done for this. They already had a transfer ban for ignoring rules about kids. It winds me up so much. So they're probably not going to get Griezmann if this all kicks off, because I reckon what's going to happen now, Real Madrid are going to come in and say, look, we're taking for his release clause.
But then I think there'll be murders. Moving from Atletico to Real, that's a big one.
Yeah, I know.
That's a big one.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He apparently doesn't want to come to England. He wants to stay in Spain. But we'll see what happens on that one. What have we got else here? We got Munier. I don't know, is his surname Gallian? I don't know how to pronounce that, mate. But he puts, I found this hilarious. And Munier is a Muslim, so he's allowed to laugh at this. There's a tweet that says, Mohamed Salah builds hospitals, feeds the poor, boosts Egypt's economy, scores fucking worldies with his left peg. What can't this man do? And someone's replied, eat bacon.
Eat bacon.
So,
I did find that one. I found that hilarious.
Munir's found that hilarious, and I have as well. What else have we got here? Tommy Roberts again is talking about Kane and Ali. Have they been charged for their potential leg-breaking challenges? Has Gareth Barry been charged with it? He's stamped on De Gea. Lanzini has been charged, but Lanzini has been charged for his diving. Nice to see football has its priorities right. Tony Kemp responds and says Kane and Ali got yellow, so unless the ref changes his mind, the FA can't do anything about it, as far as I know. I didn't see the Barry one, to be fair, and to be honest with you, I didn't. Glenn Essler, I think it is Esley. Sorry, Glenn, if I pronounced that wrong. People forgot Otamendi's kick in Kane's face. It's dangerous, yes. Is it out of control? Yes. Is it a red? Yes. But they gave a yellow. That kind of wound me up, because the Mane one, again, I know it would look more severe. And I did see the ref. He went over to check the injury first to Kane, to Kane's face. And then he had a chat and got the yellow card out. And I think the one with Mane, if that keeper gets up and he's not poleaxed, the ref gives him a yellow there. But you know,
I think that is the main thing. It's taking a second out to assess, and I said that's where sometimes even a panel can help you. It's obviously it's in real time, and obviously that's what referees are there to do.
You say about the panel, right? How many people disagreed on that Mane one? Like, I know. Gary Neville was saying it's a yellow card all day long. People were adamant saying that it's a red all day long. I thought it was a yellow. I think, again, if he gets up, he gives that yellow. But
I think for me, it's always about intent for me. And I look at it, I think the Mane one, if I remember correctly, I felt it was a yellow, because it's always about intent. Like, sometimes you just make an error of judgment, and that then obviously is up to the referee to make a decision. Now, I'm going to compare this to De Jong on who I believe was Xabi Alonso in the World Cup final. I felt that his intention was to put a hard tackle in instantly, to kind of let them know, okay, I'm here. Misjudged it, missed the ball, hit him. So I feel that one's more a red. So for me, it's always about intent.
Now you bring that one up, can I just say, Howard or Coward, whatever they called him, one of the worst refereeing performances in that cup final, the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Trying to let the game flow, don't want to spoil the game. No, do your job. Book them when they've done bookings, send them off when they've done sending offs. You're there to actually enforce the law. So Holland pretty much nearly kicked Spain out of that World Cup. We got another comment here, this one from my brother Paul Gimenez. For those listening, it's pronounced Gimenez. I know that. If you're Spanish or if you're critiquing me, I know it's Gimenez, but I just say Gimenez. That's up. So, my brother Paul Gimenez, he says Rooney is now level with Lukaku and Aguero, and 2 above Jesus, 1 above Morata. # finished. Now I've got to say, I thought he was finished at United. I thought it was. Someone said in the debate room, I reckon he'll get 20 goals out of him. He's well on the way to that. To be fair to him, the boy's class. He scored a couple of penalties, a couple of scrappy goals, but that hat-trick the other day, that goal from the halfway line.
I am Rooney's biggest fan. Biggest fan. If anyone wants to know, growing up, my idols, these are people that I felt I could identify to. I started off with the original R9 and Adriano. Those are people I felt my build was like. I admired them.
Now you're like Akinfenwa.
Yeah, now I'm massive. But before that, I was like in the Rooney stage. I felt like everything. I just admired everything about his style of play, his desire, and not only that, is that the technical aspect he had to this game was amazing. Now, me and my friend, while he's been at Man United, me and my friend were arguing for years. And I agreed. I said, do you know what? He has the technical ability to play for Manchester United now, but age is catching up with him. To play for Manchester United, you need to be dynamic and you need to be peak dynamic. You see what I mean? Like it can't be, oh, I'm a yard off. Oh, it's okay. It's not okay. So I understood why he had to drop down. Now, when he went to Everton, I knew, because I said, the fact is, when people play through you, a player like him is going to benefit from it. And he's also got the fact of he's going to take penalties. He's most likely going to take free kicks. And if someone goes down the line, Sigurdsson, true. But if someone goes down the line, they're looking for Rooney. You know what I mean? If you're going to cut it back, you're looking for Rooney because you know his technique. So I always knew he would score goals, and I'm so glad for him, because I think the one thing that bothers me about Rooney is that he doesn't actually get the respect that he deserves from the English fans, because he's done it from such a young age.
I think a lot of it boils down to recent World Cups and tournaments and that, because when he was at the Euros in Portugal, and my brother actually went out there and he was just on another level.
Of course.
And he got his injuries as well, which knocked him back a bit. But that's the only tournament when he's gone there and he's actually... You made you think, wow, this is like Michael Owen 98. You've got someone here that is a world beater. And I mean, he hasn't done it for England, but I mean, still the top scorer for England of all time.
My question is, who has? Like, I'm a fan of, like, we'll get onto this one another time. I'm a big fan of Gerrard, and I think that Gerrard's one of those players that he actually did do it for England, but it's not on a notable stage. It's not. Where it's like he probably was playing excellent, but people don't really care. It's just a game to them. Unless there's goals and assists, people don't really care. But his actual, like, what he would do as a whole probably was brilliant. Now for Rooney, I felt that he got to a point where every single time what they were doing is they weren't being honest. Say, for example, if Theo Walcott is not at his peak, they don't just put him in, if you see what I mean. Now with Rooney, I felt they were pushing him in all the time. They were rushing him back from fitness. And over a period of time, that has an effect on you. Because not only is he playing for England every game, he's playing for Manchester United every single game, week in, week out. Tiredness will catch up with you. And I felt that was the problem with him. And also his style of game. When we talk about Ronaldo with Portugal, to be honest, it's same for Real Madrid. He comes alive in the final third, whereas Rooney wants to be in the process. He wants to be in the build-up. That's the type of player he is. So his holistic game is not 10 out of 10, makes him look worse. Ronaldo's holistic game we'll get onto that in another podcast. But it's not 10 out of 10. It's probably 5 out of 10 at the moment. But he gets in the right place to score, and then the headlines say he scored.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one. I don't feel that Ronaldo is a better player anymore than Rooney is, but I think football choices, style of play, all of these things come into play, and then it has an effect on you.
Choices,
Lifestyle
like
choices.
He looks after himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rooney goes for a pint and a brass.
Yeah, it's true. it's very true. But I still feel everything that he's done for Manchester United, for England, even though England haven't won anything over the years, he just deserves more respect. Let the man, when he retires, just let him retire with the respect that he's done it from the age of 16.
Yeah. That goal when he first came on the scene against Arsenal, ridiculous.
Although
I'll tell you what, I'm not having that overhead kick against City. I'm not having that at all.
You still don't have it.
I'm not having that. No, wait, you can't score an overhead kick off of your shin.
I don't care what it comes.
Claim it's a world class goal.
I don't care what it comes off. If you're playing, it's 3-3. You're playing against your rivals, your local rivals. They're up and coming. They're creating havoc. And the ball comes and you overhead kick it. I don't care if it comes off your knee. If it goes top corner, you run away and celebrate.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. But I'm not having it that it's one of the greatest Premier League goals of all time, which everyone rates it as, because you've got...
No, I don't rate it as that.
It's got to be... You're trying to do something...
And you do it.
No, it was unbelievable. The way it looked, it looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it was Sinn Féin.
Yeah.
Sinn Féin all
No, I don't even class that as Rooney's top 5 goals, to be honest. I think even the goal he scored the other day in that hat-trick from the halfway line, that I'm all over, because the technique was flawless from start to finish. So
it was quality. It was absolute quality. Last comment then we're going to bring up. Mark Lee says, Salah, didn't think he would do it this year. I am proven wrong. I mean, what a player this boy is. I mean, I literally... I'm thinking about converting to Islam because of this guy. I love him.
Salah. Let me tell you about this. When Salah was what people have to realise is Salah was always good. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But at Chelsea, at the time, funny enough, he was under Mourinho at that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think a player like him has to have a level of freedom. That's what I said. They have to have a level of freedom. They're not systematic players. They have to have a level of freedom to express themselves. And I remember at Chelsea, the one where he went around the keeper and just done a craziness and that. I remember those certain things, and I just said, he's very good, but why is it not working? He went away. It was Roma, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He done what he had to do.
Fiorentina first.
Fiorentina, then Roma. Done exactly what he had to do. And that's what I respect the most, is that when things aren't going well or whatever, you could be written off. Some players, that is it. If they don't do it at Chelsea, that's it. They just fade. Yeah. But he grew, he developed, and then now he's come back. It's amazing to see. And what's even more amazing is that he's taken Mane's mantle.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was the craziest thing, because Mane obviously injured, etc. And he's come back, he's taken the mantle. Yeah. You've got players like Lana missing, or coming back from injury now. You've got all these players. You had all the issues with Coutinho. So for him to stand up at that moment in time and do what he's done, full credit.
Yeah. Amazing. In Salah. Mohamed, what a player. I love him. I think he's become a bit like, I saw a tweet the other day, someone said, he's become like Iron Robin in the fact that you know what he's going to do. Yeah. But you still can't stop it. Yeah. My brother said he reminds him of Bergkamp, the way he's got that technique, bending it round all the time. He's got that curl. He's just, I love him. Like I said, I love him. Right, I think we've done enough, mate. That's our first one. Guys, comment on Facebook and get involved in there. Join the group if you're listening to this. Go on Facebook. It's Football Debate Room. If you go on to Twitter, it's @Footy Debate Room. You can find me on Twitter @KevinGXX. You can find find Andrew at Andrew Dalhouse. That's DALHAUSE. We're going to put some more topics up when we do the next one. More people get involved. Say what you got to say. If you've got any suggestions or topics you want us to talk about as well, please put them up as well, and we will chat and we will mention you, and we'll keep the chat going, eh?
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well done, mate. I'll catch you.
Brilliant.
Catch you soon, yeah?
Yeah. See you next time.
See you later, everyone. Bye.